No infusion of capital nor infrastructure will create lasting development unless Jamaica's people are well educated, technically adept, socially well adjusted, and spiritually conscious.
Education Minister Ronald Thwaites declaring to Parliament that education is an investment ministry and should be viewed as such. In his contribution to the 2012-2013 sectoral debate, the minister outlined a prescription for the sector that includes securing the foundation of the process. Start at the beginning, he said.
Mr. Speaker, let's start them right, and they will turn out bright.
To this end, he said the administration had set aside $9.3 billion in the 2012-2013 fiscal year for early childhood education, 12.2% of the education budget, in fact. But the minister argued that money alone won't be enough, so the ministry pursued partnerships with Food for the Poor, which is donating 50 schools, and the Chinese government, which has promised 4. Other private-public partnerships are being pursued to provide the tens of thousands of places needed at the primary and secondary levels. In the meantime, government will build a new school this year, Cedar Grove High in Gregory Park, St. Catherine, to provide 1,200 of those places. Literacy and numeracy. The minister said if student performance in these two areas improved, then the country would be well on its way to seeing better overall results. So 2 key appointments have been made: national literacy and national numeracy coordinators, mandated to uplift literacy and numeracy levels throughout the primary system. And beginning September, more emphasis on mathematics, the gateway to science.
The plan is to identify from the current teaching staff of each school teachers who can be trained and held accountable for driving the process of improvement in numeracy.
Turning to the Grade 6 Achievement Test, Mr. Thwaites promised some changes. While he gave no specifics, he told Parliament that the ministry was aware of the deficiencies.
A new format is being developed, which will better test from grades 4 to grade 6 the aptitude and skills with appropriate age-related content, rather than the regurgitation of memorized facts.
In the meantime, the minister urged students and parents to accept the places they had been assigned and make the best of it.
Grow where you are planted. Work with your child's school to make it better.
The minister also noted that the 2012 results showed that despite the challenges, students were performing better across all 5 subject areas. And he pointed to upcoming programs expected to help primary school children do even better. Come September 2012, eLearning Jamaica will roll out its ICT program in primary schools, training teachers, providing computers, software, and other audio-visual equipment. Another initiative, taking the teaching learning experience online.
This will allow the instruction of our best teachers to be beamed even to remote schools. We are pleased to announce an expanding partnership with the Media Association of Jamaica, the telecommunications companies Lime, Digicel, and Flow, all committed to providing information technology access to advanced education and value-rich cultural change.
The minister also reiterated plans to introduce civics and the teachings of Marcus Garvey in all schools come September. And he spoke to initiatives aimed at dealing with children who have severe behavioral problems. The programs, he said, would begin in September and include the help of the police and the army. And for those who drop out of school, the minister announced the High School Equivalency program, which would cater to Jamaicans of all ages through the Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning, libraries, and other centers.
Mr. Speaker, I worry about the nutrition status of poor children. Many of them come to school hungry.
So more money has been set aside to help feed the more than 600,000 students who get nutritional support every year. There's $230 million in the budget this year, and that means that schools will get a little more to provide meals for children at all levels. Regarding the vexed issue of auxiliary fees, Mr. Thwaites said the ministry's position was very clear.
These fees, which are worked out in conjunction with representatives of parents and principals, are not optional extras which you pay if you feel like. Supporting your child in school must come before the Rizla and the rum, before the hair extension and the bashment clothes. We have asked all unemployed trained teachers to register with the regional offices, and we are trying hard to find them employment places as soon as possible.
A lifeline for more than 1,000 trained teachers. The minister pointed to one of the reasons they may be unable to get jobs on their own: the uneven distribution of teachers, schools with too many and others with too few. Mr. Thwaite said the ministry remained powerless to redeploy teachers based on need and would therefore be pushing for the Jamaica Teaching Council, a body that would register, license and discipline teachers, as is the case for other professions. He promised that the bill to establish the council would be tabled this year. The administration, he said, would also be pursuing legislation to bring about 2 new entities: the National Parenting Support Commission and the Tertiary Commission. These, he said, would support the Education Transformation Program, but called on all stakeholders to accept their role in making meaningful change.
Will we as a nation this Jubilee year affirm that the greatest role that any adult can play in their lives is to be a good parent? More money alone won't give us a good education system. Homes and communities, no matter how poor, must play a greater part in ensuring good education outcomes.